With Ringo Starr's new country album, Look Up, earning widespread acclaim, it feels like the right moment to revisit a Beatles track that not only became a bluegrass staple, but also played a role in shaping country rock. Written and sung by Paul McCartney in 1965, though officially credited to the Lennon-McCartney team, I've Just Seen a Face was initially released in the UK on the Help album. However, for American audiences, it was held back and later included on the US version of Rubber Soul. The song, believed to have been inspired by McCartney's then-girlfriend Jane Asher, tells the story of falling in love at first sight. Its acoustic, country-flavoured arrangement, laced with elements of bluegrass and folk, reflected McCartney's growing interest in the American folk and folk rock scene of that era. The Dillards, known for their appearances as the Darlings on the Andy Griffith Show in the early 1960s, played a significant role in introducing bluegrass music to a wider American audience. They were among the first in their genre to embrace the broader musical trends of the decade, incorporating electric instruments and covering contemporary popular songs. This experimentation paved the way for what would become known as progressive bluegrass and helped shape the early foundations of country rock. Their association with the Byrds, highlighted by a joint tour in 1967, further amplified this influence. It was through this collaboration that both bands began to lean more heavily into country sounds, culminating in the formation of Dillard and Clark, a duo created when Doug Dillard parted ways with the Dillards and Gene Clark left the Byrds. Their album, The Fantastic Expedition of Dillard and Clark, is now widely regarded as a landmark release in the West Coast country rock movement. Following Dillard's departure, Herb Pedersen, a respected figure in West Coast bluegrass, stepped in to fill the void. Before the American release of Rubber Soul, the Dillards heard the Beatles' version of I've Just Seen a Face from the UK edition of Help and recorded a rendition of their own. Unfortunately, that initial version never saw the light of day. It was instead the Charles River Valley Boys, a bluegrass outfit from Cambridge, Massachusetts, who first released a bluegrass interpretation of the song on their 1966 album Beatle Country via Elektra Records. 2 years later, the Dillards, now joined by Pedersen, revisited the track for their album Wheat Straw Sweet. The song blended seamlessly into an album that wrapped bluegrass textures in a country rock aesthetic, a combination that has since earned the record a reputation as a foundational work in the genre. The Dillards' impact reached far beyond their immediate peers. They were instrumental in influencing not only the evolution of progressive bluegrass, but also the emerging sound of country rock. Their reach extended to musicians who are typically associated with rock, such as Elton John and John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin, both of whom acknowledged the Dillards as an influence. Sam Bush, a prominent figure in the generation of bluegrass musicians that followed, credited the Beatles' I've Just Seen a Face as his entry point into the band's catalogue, an introduction that eventually led him to the burgeoning San Francisco sound. Bush went on to record the song multiple times, twice with Newgrass Revival while backing Leon Russell, once on the live album, also featured on the concert video Live and Picking Fast, and again on the studio album Rhythm and Bluegrass. He later recorded a solo version for the 2013 tribute compilation Let Us in Americana, the music of Paul McCartney, for Linda. Bush's enthusiasm for the song appeared to influence Leon Russell, who continued to include it in his live performances right up until his passing.